Okay, cool. I feel a little bit like I'm sat in the sitting room from the past, except 3 different pasts, and there's a bit of a mix of faces looking at me. There's a sooty, there's a sweep, there's a bagpuss, and there's a womble or two. David, what a collection!
Yes, yeah, it's quite extensive.
Now, these are all sort of TV memorabilia, and David Givers came in, collected them, put them together for a special exhibition. But right now it's just in your front room.
It is, yes. This is a bit of a sneak preview really for Radio Derby of the exhibition, but it's actually taking place on Saturday at the Strutt Centre in Belper.
Now talk me around a little bit what we've got in this room. I did notice your sooty and sweep are a lot older than my sooty and sweep.
Yes, sooty and sweep are 1950s, so they've got straw heads and glass eyes and the Chad Valley ones, so they're about 60 odd years old, those two. We've got a bagpuss and a clanger and then a mouse. We've got Muffin the Mule, Paddington Bear, Andy Pandy. Pretty much something from every generation, I think, is in the room.
I was going to say, it's not just stuffed toys, but also you've got a Super Ted game over there.
Yes.
You've got some annuals and some figurines. Why did you start collecting all this?
I can't rightly say. I've always been a collector. I've collected all sorts of things, and actually started off collecting Sesame Street and Muppets memorabilia. That was my first thing, and then moved on to British children's television. And I think it's really nice because they're very charming and they're very of an age which doesn't exist anymore. And I think people get a lot of enjoyment from them because of the memories they evoke. So.
What, out of all these objects here, I keep seeing different things. I've seen a Bill and Ben over there now and a Basil Brush. Out of all the objects you've got here, what's your favourite?
I think probably the Paddington Bear over there, just because he's just lovely. He's really nice, he's really well made, and he's very old, and just really nice. I think one of the first things I got as well, so yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, he's actually quite a tall Paddington Bear, standing up by himself, wearing a green duffel coat and a blue hat. But you said he's lost his label.
He's lost his label, yeah. I mean, they're from 1974 roundabout, and not many have their label, and if they do, they're very tatty. But apart from that, he's in quite good nick. So.
You've also got 3 old TVs and a radio. Did this come later, this collecting old TVs? Or?
For collecting TVs has been something that I've had to sort of do very gradually, because I haven't got a lot of room. I suppose it came with collecting TV memorabilia. I kind of was really drawn to the TVs, and I think they're really beautiful objects. They're made in a way which things aren't made today, and they're made to last. And the radio, again, you know, they're sort of pieces of history which won't be seen again, and which actually are dying out. Really, there's not many of them left in good nick. Certainly not working.
This TV in the cupboard with the shutter doors. How old is that?
That is 1952.
Wow, so really predates quite a lot of the other bits and bobs in the room.
Well, near enough, yeah. I mean, the Muffin the Mule stuff, the puppet and the books and the playing cards are all 1949, 1948, and a lot of the Watch Your Mother stuff is also early 50s, so around about the same time, yeah.
And what about this TV in the corner which has got a Bill and Ben and PC Plod in front of?
That one is 1969, so it's sort of late 60s, 70s. And it's got the lovely vinyl wood covering and sort of leather dials and buttons.
Where do you get all these bits and bobs from?
A mixture. I have my eye out whenever I'm in charity shops, all that kind of stuff. Also eBay for specific items like the TVs, which are really hard to find, and also collectors' fairs as well. They have big collectors' fairs throughout the country, which I go to every now and then to pick up some choice items.
It must be quite an expensive collection though.
It can vary. I mean, the most expensive thing in the room was probably the Muffin the Mule puppet, which with the box was about 110 quid. But some of the TVs, which are quite big and really nice items, are sort of 20 quid, 40 quid, and most things actually are sort of between a quid and £10 really, you know, it's not too bad.
We've moved upstairs to have a look at a nice old 70s sofa that you've come across.
Yes, it's a lovely velour green with bright yellow flowers all over it. It's very tasteful.
So why have you come across this? Is this all for the exhibition?
Well, part of the exhibition really is for sort of people to explore their childhood and also share things with their children which they might not know about. So we're actually setting up a 70s living room in the exhibition. So I've spent the last month or so digging out old 70s items and trying to find the perfect horrible sofa, and this was it. We got both of them for a tenner. We found a bit of a steal really from a house clearance, and it's Lovely.
You're not so convinced, but for the 70s sitting room, it is perfect. Now, what else is going to happen at this exhibition?
Well, the exhibition is part of a larger project where we're exploring children's television in general, and what we're doing, we're working with children in primary schools, and particularly children in children's centres, to create a brand new television programme inspired by all the classic television programmes previously. So there is a character competition, and all the children have created their own character, and they will all be displayed, all the artwork at the exhibition to see, and then there'll be a winning character chosen, and that character will be turned into a film by professional artists and the children themselves, which will be shown in July. There'll also be at the screening storytelling throughout the day from Graham Langley. He's a very, very renowned storyteller, and there's also the chance to see lots of old television programmes, the projection screens, so you can sit and watch your childhood on the screen.
I was going to ask, how much archive footage do you have of kids' TV and from what era?
Everything from every era. Sam and I, who's doing all the video for the project, spent a very long day compiling lots of old children's programmes and videos, so we've got everything for somebody, certainly, yeah.
Brilliant. And having a look round sort of all your toys and bits and bobs, you really have covered something from every era. Is the idea to create this new character, is it going to be a mixture of everything from Paddington to, I don't know, Earthworm Jim, going relatively recent?
Well, we're certainly focusing on British television, because I think it's got a really individual sort of identity of itself, but what we're really looking at is for the children to come up with the ideas, because some of the ideas we've already had have been absolutely brilliant, and I think that's where the spark and the excitement has come from, because the children know what they want to see, and the ideas they come up with are far beyond anything we could ever imagine, and really brilliant and creative, so that's what it's going to be about, I think.
I can imagine people sort of our age and also a lot older really get caught up in nostalgia. I certainly do. Do you think the kids are going to learn from this nostalgic element too?
I think at a certain age, yes, certainly the older kids, sort of 10, 11 years old, of the primary school generation, are even sort of thinking, oh, I used to watch that when I was 3 and 4, and getting quite nostalgic about it, which is really nice. But also I think they see the reaction from their parents and their teachers about the things they used to watch, and they really enjoy that as well, and that's quite encouraging.
Brilliant. And I have to ask, what is the sort of childhood TV programme, your favourite from your youth? Have you got one?
I don't know, it's very hard to choose, because I was lucky enough to grow up watching all sorts of old ones as well. I suppose my favourite would probably be Super Ted. I'm a big fan of Super Ted. I think there's something quite special about that. So,
Super Ted and Spotty Man. Well, you have been doing some super work. David Gibb, thank you very much for showing me around your incredible collection.
Thank you.